welcome to the party. Come on in. And don't worry, there's a lot of people coming. They're just not here right now. We got the drinks here. This bad boy will automatically destroy people. I'm talking to him, and I'm talking to you.
So Resident Evil 7 came out in 2017, and after the failure that was Resident Evil 6, there was definitely a lot of concerns for this game. Now, as the biggest and quite frankly the only Resident Evil 6 fan, I slightly resent that, but I also understand the concerns as well. But all of those concerns left when I played the demo for this game, because that was the moment I realized, oh, my mistake, this is not a Resident Evil game, this is Silent Hill. So in this game, you play as Ethan Winters, as he gets a videotape from his wife who has been missing for 3 years. Wait, back that up, hold up, time out. The Silent Hill thing was a joke, but this is literally the opening to Silent Hill 2. So like a dumbass, Ethan goes looking for her, and during this time, he meets Hank Hill, the cast of A Bug's Life, the Riddler, and eventually, he gets reunited with his lovely wife before she cuts his hand off. So after getting turned on by Mia's new form, Ethan now finds a new spark in their relationship. So now Ethan's goal is to find Mia again and escape the Baker's family at all cost. Okay, so as much as I say this story copies off of Silent Hill 2, that's actually not true, because there was definitely not a big ass hillbilly chasing me with a shovel in Silent Hill 2. Unless I missed that part. This game deviates completely from the action in Resident Evil 6. I mean, hell, Resident Evil 6 and Resident Evil 7 could not be more polar opposites. We went from a third-person action game with multiple set pieces and over 7 playable characters to a first-person horror game that takes place under one roof with only 1 playable character. And even though I love Resident Evil 6, I am so glad they made these changes, because Resident Evil 7 might honestly be the scariest Resident Evil game for me. That being said, I still have nightmares about that dollhouse in Resident Evil Village. This game screams atmosphere. The entire game just feels grimy and nasty. I felt like I needed to take a shower after playing this game because the areas felt so disgusting. They did such a great job at showing off how broken not just the house was, but the Baker family themselves. I have fought so many monsters up to this point in the Resident Evil series, but I never thought that some of the scariest monsters would be a fucked up farmer and a lady that shits out bugs. That being said, for as much as I love the Baker family, every other monster in this game sucks. I know they wanted to give us shit to shoot, but black sludge monsters? Really? Why would I be scared of mold when I have this big ass cockroach trying to fuck me? I feel like the only reason they gave us these enemies was just so we could have something to kill in this game. Because when it comes to the Baker family, especially Jack Baker, guns are basically a minor inconvenience for them. And this is a perfect segue into the gameplay. Now, as a horror game, the gameplay works perfectly. I do prefer the third-person combat style in the later games more, but for the type of horror game Resident Evil 7 was, it would honestly look stupid if we had the same arsenal we had in Resident Evil 6. It would be funny though. And then we have the soundtrack, which is basically non-existent. Okay, that's a lie. There is some suspenseful music that plays when a monster appears, but as far as the rest of the music goes in this game, the only memorable track for me is the save room theme. The rest of the music works for the tone, but I feel like my problem with this game's music is the same problem I had with the music in the RE2 remake. They basically chose creepy silence over immersive music, and I'm kinda not a fan of that. Especially when the older games had music in them and they were still scary. I wouldn't ask for this if I didn't know that the Resident Evil series could make some good ass music. Why take away something that could add to the immersion? And the other problem that I do have with this game is that there really isn't any replay value. I have replayed every single mainline Resident Evil title, except this one. And the reason for that is because once you know when the scares are going to happen, you sort of lose a bit of the fear element. It's still scary, but you do lose the element of surprise. But these are just a few personal nitpicks, because with all that said, Resident Evil 7 gave us some great scares, disgusting visuals, and a fun time in Louisiana. So with all that said, my final verdict for Resident Evil 7 would be the golden seal of approval.